So you want to make money with your words. You just want to travel the world, or you want to sit in your parents' bedroom like I did for many years when I started my writing career, and you want to make some money and live your life. Now, if you're an introvert, this is probably your dream. If you're an extrovert, you're probably clicking this away because you don't want to spend a lot of time alone writing. Now, if you are a writer or an aspiring writer, this video is for you because I'm going to give you 7 ways that you can make money with your words. And everything that I talk about in this video comes from personal experience. This is not just some AI research or Googling a few pages and then giving you a summary. No, this is stuff that I've actually done, and I'm giving you my personal experience. I've been writing for 10 years now, and I've generated more than $1 million in course and book sales. Now, I'll give you the things that truly matter. And honestly, it's also not really about money. I didn't mention it, but it's kind of annoying when people only focus on the money, because we all know that writing is a creative pursuit and it's not the best way to make a lot of money. Let's be honest about that. It's probably better that you start another digital business or get into investing or any type of other business that you have the opportunity to just go out and hustle and sell, because writing also is about, you know, coming out with the right message at the right time. So you have to be very patient if you want to make money. And the thing is, you can do it. You just need to have the right approach. So let's start off with the first way, which is the most obvious way for a writer, and that is to sell books. Now, I don't recommend chasing a publishing deal, especially when you're starting out as a writer, because it will be very difficult to get one. And in today's world, you don't even need one, because you are much better off owning your own rights and putting out a lot of books. If you go on Amazon, of course, you'll see a lot of people who have made it a full-time career to write and publish books. Some of these books are not of high quality, but if you really focus on solely writing books, you can definitely write 1 or 2 books a year. I did that for many years as well. Between 2015 and 2020, I put out 1 book a year, and I self-published those books. Now, here's the most important thing when it comes to writing and selling books. First of all, and very obviously, they have to be good, so you have to spend time researching and writing the books. I'm not going to talk about that because I know you already know that. The thing that's really important is that it's a numbers game. I have 8 books, and only 2 of them consistently sell really well. And those 2 books generate about 80% of my revenue. Okay. So a lot of people think that they can publish 1 book and it'll be a great success and they can just sit back and collect the passive income. That's not how it works. You have to put out a lot of books, and then you have to be lucky that 1 or 2 of them sells really well. And if you can accomplish that, the income is great. But you have to put out more than 1 book. So you really have to adopt a mindset that you are going to create multiple books and you need to have multiple ideas. And it's great if you can focus on one niche, but you can also, expand a little bit. I've written books about conquering fear, improving productivity, building wealth. So it's all in the self-improvement category, but it's a very broad category. And as long as you have expertise or experience about a certain topic, you can write about it. So it is a very important revenue stream, and it requires time to build it up. For me, the first 3, 4 years, my book sales were pretty much nothing. So I had to work on another way of creating income, which is the second thing: courses. Again, a very obvious thing. And people have been doing this now online for the past 10, 15 years. And since 2020, there's been a lot more competition, which makes a lot of people assume that it's not a worthwhile approach, but it is. courses are still a very good way to earn money and provide value to your audience, because a lot of your people who buy your courses will also buy your books and vice versa. So this really connects together, and in business they call it synergy. And it's a corny way of saying that serve your customers really well, and if you can do that, you can create more revenue. So that's really what it comes down to. And the best thing about this is that you don't have to do a lot of research or think about what type of course you should create. Create a course that is just the next step of your book. So, for example, you might know me because of my best selling book, Do It Today, which is one of the two books that sells really well. And the next step of that book is my course, Procrastinate Zero, right? Because in the book, I share strategies for overcoming procrastination. In the course, I dive deeper and I offer a framework where I basically show how you can do it, which is something you don't necessarily can get from a book. So it's the next step. Now, some people buy the book and then the course, some people buy the course and then the book. And it's all good. But the thing about courses is that you don't have to sell a lot of them to generate some revenue. If you want to make a living with selling books, you have to sell a lot of books. Now, if you sell a few dozen courses every month, you can still generate a very healthy revenue, right? So really focus on having courses as well if you want to do this full time as a writer. Right, number 3, which is freelancing. You can do ghostwriting, you can write content, you can become a research assistant. My own research assistant, John, who has been working with me for 4 years, also writes his own books and he works on the side with me. So it's a great way to generate some revenue if you are not, prioritizing courses. But the thing is, all of these ways that I'm sharing with you to make money sound great on paper, but the thing is that you can't focus on all of them at once. So you can't write a book and create a course at the same time. It's best to do it sequentially. So in a similar way, you are not able to have like 10 clients or have one full-time client as a freelancer and then also write a lot of books on the side, right? So you have limited amount of time. So you need to be very strategic about how you spend your time. I recommend freelancing in the beginning because you want to have some income. And also, I don't recommend doing it full time, just part time, so you can spend the rest of your time on writing books and creating courses. So, see freelancing as this temporary thing that you can do to generate some revenue. Then, the fourth way is a paid newsletter. I've done this in the past too, and it's becoming more and more popular. Substack, a lot of people love it, right? Because it is such a great way to generate recurring income. And this is something that you can do when you combine it with writing books or creating courses. It's something that you can just maintain on a weekly basis. But the thing is about paid newsletters, and this is the mistake that I made back in 2018 when I started my first paid newsletter. I added too much benefits and value to a $5 newsletter that it was impossible for me to maintain the output. Now, what you see these days is that folks simply offer one piece of content or one piece of written content and maybe a podcast and bundle it and offer it as a newsletter. But the thing is, it has to be very valuable. People, of course, love investment newsletters because it helps you to make money. If you can give insights to people that they can use to save time, make money, those standard ways that you monetize your product, which are basically entertaining people, helping to make money or to save time. And that's about it. Now, Of course, you always need to focus on skill development, because I also see a lot of people who who just create courses or books or newsletters about making money, and the only way that they're making money is by offering a product that is talking about making money. They haven't done it themselves, right? And I don't think that's very, it's not an honest way of making a living. Plus, it's not a very sustainable way, because you'll find yourself jumping from one platform to the other. While when you focus on teaching real skills like writing or filmmaking or coding, any type of activity or content and lessons that teaches people how to do something, you really help people to learn a skill that they can apply in different ways. And then your content or your platform will grow organically as well through word of mouth. And that is something that generally doesn't happen often with these money making people, because they focus on one platform and then the platform dies, or the income opportunity kind of dries up, and then they go somewhere else. So they always have to create these new audiences and new platforms. So focus on providing real value. And if you can do that in the form of a paid newsletter, that's a great way to add some more income. All right, number 5 is doing coaching. I've done this in the past as well, and I still offer it sometimes as a bonus or as an upgrade with my courses. It's a great way to work one-on-one with people, and once again provide value. And you can, focus on the skill that you've acquired, the thing that you have experience with. And honestly, too many people discount their own ability to help others. They think, oh, who am I? Why should I teach someone else? Well, if you have experience, if you've done something, you can teach it to others. You just need to adopt a mindset that you are not only a writer, but also a coach or a trainer. And it's something that's natural. You can do it, but you just have to adopt the mindset of a coach. And all you have to do is make an offer. Let people know that you are doing coaching, because no one will reach out to you and say, hey, man, can you help me with something? I'll give you money. No, you have to make it clear that you are doing coaching. And the best way you can do that is by mentioning it in your bio, mentioning it on your website, having a page, having a video, saying that you are now open to acquire, or that you're accepting new clients. And that's the most important thing about coaching. You have to really communicate it to the outside world, because too many people think that if they write coach in their bio or somewhere on their website, people will start reaching out to them. That's not how it works. You have to approach selling coaches the same way as you sell courses. You have to have a landing page, a video, explain your methodology. You need to have your own system and share how you really help someone. Because basically, what you're doing is you are taking someone from where they are to where they want to be, and you're guiding them through that process. And that's actually what we all do as writers, no matter what we do, whether it's a book, course, coaching, we always take people on a journey. Okay, so that's something that you always need to remember when you are offering any type of product or service. And then another thing that you can do is commissioned work. I've done this as well in the past, where I've written articles for money. And in some cases, you can make like $750 for an article. You need to have some form of reputation and some experience, but you can make pretty good money with commissioned work. But the thing is, you have to pitch your articles, you have to create a network. If you are a little bit more extroverted as a writer, that might be a good fit for you. It wasn't for me. I did it for a little while, but when editors stopped reaching out, I also stopped, because I was like, yeah, I don't really care. But the thing is, once again, there's a lot more competition, and that has been the case over the past few years. So editors are now flushed with a lot of pitches. Now you really have to stand out and focus on your message and what you can offer. And once again, that is something that we have to do no matter what we do, whether it's freelancing, coaching, courses or books, the challenge is always there to stand out from the crowd. And you can only do that by really embracing your authentic message and focus on who you really are. Okay, and then the final thing before this turns into a 1 hour video is a paid community. I've done this as well. I had this community called the Sounding Board, and it was a community for people who were ambitious and wanted to, start a business or a new endeavor and kind of soundboard their ideas. And it was mostly during the COVID years. It worked really well. Once again, the reason that I stopped it was because it was too much time and effort for me to maintain it, because when I started the community, the offer was not that you only get a community, but also a lot of content, right? So if you want to do a community, think about the end, what it will look like in 1 or 2 years, because too many of us, and me included, start off a community with a great idea. We put in a lot of time and then we don't know how to maintain that, or we realize, well, it requires a little bit too much time and effort. So think about what the real benefit of your community is, why people would pay for it, and the content slash support that you're offering, because it has to be something that you can combine with your other writing. Because this is my final message to you here. You're watching a video about how to make more money as a writer, and you should consider yourself as a writer. But the thing is that don't get overly focused on the money part. If you can have one additional income source that can sustain you, and it gives you a lot of time and freedom and energy to focus on doing great work, do that. Don't get enticed by all of these people who say, yeah, you need to make money, you need to buy a Porsche, you need to, travel the world, you need to go to all of these resorts or whatever. Forget all of that. Focus on doing the work. Focus on helping people, entertaining them, informing them. Do great work. And to do great work, you have to be in a good state of mind. You can't be always obsessed with money. You can't be so flush with work that you don't have time to think. And that's really the most important thing. And as always, I always save the most important thing for the end of the video, because most folks just leave and we don't care about them. We care about the folks who really want to become better writers. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about my writing and how I help writers to become better communicators and thinkers, check out my course. It's called Effective Writing. There's a free mini course available when it's closed, and I open the course 2 times a year for registration. So feel free to join us. Thanks for watching.